Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another issue of Mortal Realms magazine. As per usual with all these videos though, if you like them, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys, it goes a massive way to help the channel too. And without further ado, let's crack on with it, shall we? So, this week we're on issue 67 of Mortal Realms magazine. That means we only have 13 issues left of the magazine. So in 13 weeks time it will be done and it will be over. Now with this issue though we do get Asteria Solbright, the Lord Arcanum on the Celestial Dracoline, which is a quick build model as well, so it is literally a case of clipping everything out, pushing it together, painting it up, done, happy days. So fairly quick and easy, not a lot to glue on there, you don't even really need glue, so yeah, you can get cracking with that near enough straight away, which is a pretty good one. And into the magazine itself, of course, we are greeted by Asteria Solbright. So Asteria Solbright is more than just a warrior. She is a scholar who battles for knowledge, seeking secrets that will unlock the mysteries of life and death. So Asteria Solbright being a Lord Arcanum of the Hammers of Sigmar, and as a leader of the Shimmer Soul's Sacrosanct Chamber, she travels across the realms providing vital magical support to her comrades. She is known for her iron will, and she can sway followers to her side with but a few well-chosen words. So, with Asteria Solbright, she is, of course, a pretty cool character, and she has a bit of lore behind her as well, because she is a named character, which is the main thing. So she was, in her first life, in her mortal life, she was a scholar of Haish, and in her life before becoming a Stormcast Eternal, Asteria Solbright was a supplicant of the Great Lens in Haish. She operated this incredible arcane device, rising from the role of a Polisher Serf to a Lens Magus. And when the Great Lens was attacked by mutated drakes during the Age of Chaos, Solbright was saved from death by Sigmar and reforged in Asteria. So, because, of course, way that Sigmar, the God King, kind of operates, a lot of these Stormcast Eternals are heroes. They are kind of reborn just before death. He kind of captures their souls, essentially, and makes them become these semi-immortal Stormcast Eternals who get reforged in their Sigmarite armour, and yeah, puts them to use in many other ways, so they live for a long time, and can be reforged over and over and over again if needed. So, pretty cool stuff, and of course we get some more information about Stormcast Eternals as well. So, reforging, of course, is a miraculous process that allows Stormcast Eternals to return to life after being slain, ensuring their experience and strength remains intact. However, such a process is not perfect. As more Stormcast die and are remade, the flaw in the reforging process becomes more clear. So those who suffer a great many deaths begin to lose their memories, becoming ruthless, hard-hearted and distant. Some develop strange obsessions or are overcome with an incredible lust for battle. So, of course, being remade and reforged and everything like that does take its toll on the soul. Essentially, this is the idea behind it. So it is not just an never-ending churning kind of thing. So every time they wind up on the anvil of apotheosis and recreated, it does take away part of that soul and make them kind of a little bit less of themselves. So the first time they are reforged, they have very much a lot of their original mortal self in there, although they may not have all their memories. They do have their abilities and some of that knowledge as well that's kind of locked away in there. But over time, they can, if they are reforged too many times, it can literally destroy them and it breaks them down mentally and everything like that as well. So it does take its toll on them, which it would really, wouldn't it? So with immortality as well, of course, there are many forms of immortality. So that is one form of semi-immortality in a way. The other form, of course, being things like the Soulblight Gravelords. So they could be vampires. They can be Nighthorns, which are kind of immortal in a way. and many other kind of tricks and stuff like that. So of course Nagash, being the Great Necromancer, has cheated death himself. The same with Arkan the Black and all his Mortarks as well that are from the living. So pretty cool stuff. Moving on though, we have information about one of the battles. So this is a battle not involving Stormcast Eternals, but it does involve forces of death going up against the forces of order. So Shanti waited with the Wind Chargers upon the hill. This was her first patrol with the Hurricane. Though her trials were complete, she still had much to learn before her comrades would truly accept her. She and a dozen other warriors had been dispatched from the Temple of Winds on the orders of the Elders. The Wind Mage had claimed that the breeze carried blood, and he was right. So, in this kind of like history and lore and everything like that about one of the battles, it is literally the the Flesh Eater courts going up against the good old the Light of Haish, aka the Lumineth Realm Lords, and yeah, some pretty cool stuff. So with the Lumineth Realm Lords, they kind of mentioned a bit more on the back. So Hurricane Wind Chargers are these kind of like marsupial kangaroo kind of creatures with elves riding on them, which yeah, isn't too bad. So, and then of course the kind of Flesh Eater courts have many different forms, from ghouls all the way up to things like the Vargheists, which can also become these kind of unusual twisted forms as well, like these blister skins as well. So you can kind of paint them up differently to make them look different, make them have different attributes and stuff like that as well, if you wanted to. Your how to build section, very easy. It will tell you you do not need glue, because you don't with this. You can literally just push it all together. So follow the instructions, you can't go wrong with that. Your painting section, of course, doing the usual type of stuff, so paint it up how you want to paint it. I personally will probably paint this as a base coat of grey, more than likely, and yeah, go from there with it. But you know, pretty good. You can get some really cool looks out of it. So with all that kind of pre-molded stonework that you're going to get on the base, you can get some really cool looks if you wanted to. So whether you want to do a marble effect, you do it with very pale colours. If you want sandstone, do it with things like Wraithbone and good old stuff like that, and use some like Skeleton Horde and then dry brush over Wraithbone back over it and a bit of Corax White, and you'll get a very good looking sandstone kind of look. Or if you just want normal standard bog standard grey, you can do that as well. So however you want to paint it, have fun with it. Pretty cool stuff though. And that, and of course, just paint your Dracoline to kind of match up with the other Dracolines that you've done. Now, for one thing I will say, you can see the kind of gap there. I personally will always try to fill that in with a bit of paint. If you can't fill it in with paint, if you've got some of the liquid green stuff, you can try and smooth it over a little bit as well. Entirely up to you how you want to do it, but I would try to smooth it out as much as possible, because it doesn't look the greatest having that weird kind of split down the face, because yeah, what animal has a weird split look down the face like that? It looks a bit odd, it looks a bit peculiar, and doesn't look right. And the same with the joins on the ankles as well. Try and smooth them over, in my personal opinion. You got your War Scroll for Asteria Solbright as well, which is pretty cool. So she, of course, she's got magical abilities, so being a wizard, and of course she has the Dracoline, so she has monstrous claws, and she has the Aether Stave as well, and she can use Lightning Pulse and of course Soul Energy of the First Host as well, bolstering nearby allies. Your battle, of course, carrying on it in Akshi for the Realm of Fire, so we have the Stormcast Eternals and spreading a curse and everything like that as well, and a lot to go for with them for going over. And yeah, just make sure you're holding your lines. Choose 2 heroes from each list and 6 from the troop lists. Have fun with it, really cool stuff. And then moving on to next week, we have issue 68, which will come with some Bladegeist Revenant reinforcements, so we've already had some before, so we're getting some more. And then issue 69, we get Stellar Mud and Storm Shield. Now, Storm Shield is a varnish, so it is literally designed to protect your models, and that is because this is the last bit of paints we're getting. So we're not going to get any more after these. So Storm Shield is kind of the last one, so you can lacquer up your models, keep them protected, keep them safe and from too much damage or anything like that, and paint chipping away from them, which can happen, which is a bit of a pain. But yeah, very, very good stuff. So happy days. With that, of course, I'm going to say there is, of course, new Age of Sigmar edition coming out. The pre-orders go live sometime this month, and yeah, what I think it does kind of negate some of what we've already learnt in the Mortal Realms magazine, which is a shame. What I think was supposed to happen is the Mortal Realms magazine was supposed to be over before the launch of the new edition. However, it's not going to be, because we still have 13 weeks left of the magazine. So I think with what happened at the beginning of last year, when the pandemic kind of slowed things down and stopped them from distributing for a few weeks, that is kind of the cause of it. So it slowed it down and pushed it back and back and back. And yeah, I think what was supposed to happen is, as I say, literally, Mortal Realms was supposed to end literally in the next week or two originally, and yeah, it's been pushed back. So it's going to end after the new edition comes out, which is just where it goes. I think just like we did with good old Conquest before this magazine. So Conquest finished as Mortal Realms started, and then last year, of course, they released a new edition of 40k, which is what Imperium is based on. Imperium is, of course, the new collection, which is very much more focused along the lines of the new 40k and stuff like that. So I personally, I'm going to say it now, and I don't know if people will agree with me on this, but I think there will be a new Warhammer Age of Sigmar magazine once good old Imperium magazine is running its course and coming towards the end. I think there will be a new Warhammer Age of Sigmar magazine. Don't know what it'll be called, of course, but I can guarantee it, if they do it, it will have orcs, or Oryx if you want to call them Oryx. It will probably have Cruel Boys, which are a new set which are coming with the new Age of Sigmar edition, and it'll have the new Stormcast. They'll probably mix in some of the other models as well, some of the new kind of newer Forces of Order models, and I'm guessing they will have some other bits and pieces as well. That's what I think will happen. Whether I'm right or not, who knows? I may be completely wrong, but yeah, could be pretty good if they do it. Who knows? Right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very, very much for watching. I'll be back very, very soon with another video, and we'll go through what is expected to change with Age of Sigmar and kind of in terms of narrative and stuff like that. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye now.